He stood up at my birthday dinner and said, "Let's be honest, nobody here actually likes you, we just tolerate you." The table went silent, then erupted in laughter. My mother wiped tears from her eyes, my father clapped him on the back. I sat there, fork frozen halfway to my mouth, watching my brother grin like he'd just won something. That's when he leaned close and whispered, "Don't embarrass me tonight." The cake sat untouched in front of me, 26 candles flickering in the dim restaurant light. I should have been used to it by now. Jordan had always been the golden one, the son who could do no wrong, the brother everyone compared me to. But something felt different tonight. His smile didn't reach his eyes. When he raised his glass for the toast, his hands trembled slightly, just enough for me to notice. He covered it quickly, laughing louder than necessary at his own jokes. I watched him check his phone under the table 3 times in 10 minutes. Each time his jaw tightened. The fourth time his face went pale. He excused himself, saying he needed air, but I saw the panic in his eyes as he rushed toward the exit. My mother didn't even notice. She was too busy telling Aunt Claire about Jordan's promotion, his new apartment, his perfect girlfriend. I might as well have been invisible. When Jordan returned, sweat beaded on his forehead despite the air conditioning. He sat down heavily, avoiding eye contact with everyone. That's when his phone lit up on the table. The message preview flashed across the screen before he could grab it. "Handle it or we're done tonight." He snatched the phone so fast he knocked over his water glass. While everyone fussed over the spill, I memorized that message. Something was very wrong. After dinner, I followed him to the parking lot. He didn't go to his car. Instead, he paced near the dumpsters, phone pressed to his ear. I hung back in the shadows, close enough to hear fragments. "I told you I need more time," he hissed. "The family doesn't know anything yet." His voice cracked. "If they find out," he went quiet, listening, then his whole body went rigid. "You wouldn't dare," he whispered. But whoever was on the other end must have said something terrible because Jordan's face crumpled. "Fine, tomorrow, but after that we're done, I mean it." He ended the call and stood there, staring at nothing. For a moment I almost felt sorry for him, almost. Then I remembered the way everyone had laughed at his joke, the way my own mother had wiped tears of joy at my humiliation. I turned to leave, but a car pulled into the lot, headlights cutting through the darkness. Jordan's head snapped up. A man got out, tall and thin, wearing a baseball cap pulled low. They didn't shake hands, they didn't smile. The stranger shoved something into Jordan's hands. An envelope thick and yellow. Jordan tried to hand it back, but the man stepped away. "You made promises," the stranger said, loud enough for me to hear. "Now pay up or I'll make sure everyone knows what you did." He pointed at Jordan's chest. "You've got 48 hours. Then he got back in his car and drove away, tires squealing. Jordan stood there clutching the envelope, breathing hard. Then he walked to the dumpster and threw it inside. He didn't see me watching. He didn't see me wait until his car disappeared before walking over and pulling that envelope from the trash. Inside my apartment, I spread the contents across my kitchen table. Overdue notices, final warnings, collections letters, all addressed to different people, but one name kept appearing: our grandmother, hospital bills, medical equipment rentals, payment plans that had defaulted months ago. My hands shook as I flipped through page after page. Then I found it, a loan application. Grandma's signature at the bottom, except I'd helped her write cards last Christmas. I knew her handwriting. This wasn't it. The signature was too smooth, too confident. She had arthritis, her writing always slanted and wobbled. This was neat and practiced, forged. I sat back, my mind racing. Jordan had taken out loans in her name. My phone buzzed. "Unknown number. Stop looking into things that don't concern you." My blood ran cold. I tried to reply, but the message showed as undeliverable. Whoever sent it had blocked me immediately. I went to my parents the next morning. I brought the envelope. I explained everything slowly, carefully. My mother's face hardened before I even finished. "This is ridiculous," she said. "Jordan would never." My father held up one of the notices and squinted at it. For a second I thought he might actually listen. Then Jordan walked in, coffee in hand, looking perfect as always. "What's going on?" he asked innocently. My mother showed him the papers. His eyes widened. "Where did you get those?" He asked me, not "What are those, where did you get them?" "Does it matter?" I asked. "Look at Grandma's signature, it's fake." Jordan laughed, shaking his head like I was a child who'd said something silly. "You've always been jealous," he said softly. "I know it's hard being compared to me, but this," he gestured at the papers, "this is unhinged." My mother nodded. My father set the papers down and walked away. Just like that, I was the problem. Jordan gave me the smallest smile as he left the room. He knew he'd won. That night another message came. "He's lying to more than just you." This time there was an attachment, a video file, grainy and dark. I downloaded it with shaking hands. The video showed Jordan in a parking garage screaming at the same man from before. "I don't care what you think you're owed," Jordan shouted. "I forged the documents clean, nobody's going to find out." The man laughed bitterly. "Your whole family thinks you're perfect. What happens when they find out you're just a scammer in a nice suit?" I tried to save the video, I tried to send it to myself, but before I could, the file corrupted, then it deleted itself. The message thread disappeared. I stared at my phone, heart pounding. Someone was controlling what I could see, someone with access to my messages. I checked my email, my cloud storage, my laptop. Everything was fine, but that video was gone like it had never existed. I felt like I was losing my mind. I started digging. I called old coworkers of Jordan's, people whose numbers I'd found in his trash over the years. 3 of them agreed to talk. Every single one had the same story. Jordan had borrowed money, promised opportunities, then ghosted them when things went wrong. He told everyone I was the unstable one woman said, that I was making things up because I was obsessed with him. By the time I realized what he'd done, no one would believe me. Another man said Jordan had forged references to get his current job. He's been lying for years, he told me, and he's good at it. I was still processing everything when my parents called me over for dinner. We need to talk about your behavior, my mother said the moment I walked in. Jordan sat on the couch, arms crossed, looking wounded. My father stood by the window, silent. You've been harassing your brother, my mother continued. Spreading lies, going through his private business. We won't tolerate it anymore. I tried to explain. I showed them what I'd learned, the people I'd talked to. She cut me off. Enough, she said. Apologize to Jordan now. I looked at my brother. He stared back, eyebrows raised, waiting. Behind my parents' backs he smiled, small and cold. He knew exactly what he was doing. I'm not apologizing, I said quietly. My mother's face turned red. Then leave, she said. I left. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, gripping the steering wheel, trying not to scream. I decided right then that I was done. I'd drop it, I'd move on, I'd let Jordan win. Then the letter came. It arrived 3 days later, certified mail. I had to sign for it. The return address was a law firm I didn't recognize. Inside was a single page, a collections notice for a credit card I'd never opened. Balance $12,000, account opened 6 months ago. Billing address, my apartment, my name, my social security number, but I hadn't applied for anything. I drove to the bank in a panic. The woman behind the desk pulled up my account and frowned. There was a call earlier this week, she said. Someone claiming to be you, asking about increasing your credit limit. My stomach dropped. What did they sound like? I asked. She hesitated. Male, polite. He knew your security answers. Jordan. He'd tried to open more credit in my name. He'd used my information the same way he'd used grandma's. I was standing in the bank parking lot trying to breathe when a man approached me, the same man from the garage. You're his brother, he said. It wasn't a question. I nodded. I've been trying to reach you, he said. I sent those messages. He glanced around nervously. We need to talk somewhere private. I didn't trust him, but I needed answers. We went to a coffee shop 2 blocks away. He ordered nothing, just sat across from me, hands folded. You have no idea how deep his lies go, he said. He slid a USB drive across the table. Everything's on here, he said. Bank records, screenshots, messages, even recordings. I picked it up, feeling its weight. Why are you helping me? I asked. He smiled sadly. Because he ruined my business, took money from investors, promised returns, then disappeared. He blamed me for everything. I lost my reputation, my savings, my family. He leaned forward. He's planning something big, something at your family reunion next month. I went home and opened the files. There were hundreds of documents, loan applications, fake invoices, messages where Jordan bragged about fooling banks, employers, even his girlfriend. But the worst was a recording labeled Family Reunion Plan. I clicked it. Jordan's voice filled the room, talking to someone I didn't recognize. I'm going to ask them for investment money at the reunion, he said. Tell them I'm starting a business. They'll give me everything if I cry a little and say I'm struggling. The other voice laughed. And your brother? Jordan scoffed. I've spent 2 years making him look unstable, jealous, unreliable. No one will believe a word he says. My chest tightened. Every cruel joke, every dismissal, every time he made me look small in front of the family, it wasn't random, it was calculated. He'd been destroying my credibility on purpose so that when the time came I couldn't stop him. I didn't eat for 2 days, I didn't sleep. I just sat with those files, reading everything, understanding for the first time that my entire relationship with my brother was a lie. He didn't just dislike me, he'd actively worked to ruin me. When I finally looked up, my reflection in the dark window startled me. I looked hollow, broken, then something inside me hardened. I wasn't going to let him win. I made copies of everything, printed documents, saved recordings to 3 different drives. I organized it all into a folder, clear and undeniable. The reunion was in 1 week. I marked the date on my calendar. I didn't tell anyone what I was planning, I just waited. Then 5 days before the reunion, Jordan showed up at my apartment. He didn't knock, he had a key. I'd given it to him years ago for emergencies. He walked in like he owned the place, looked around, then sat on my couch. We need to talk, he said. His voice was different, tired, almost desperate. I know you've been digging into my business, he continued. I know what you found. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. I'm asking you as your brother to let it go. I said nothing. He rubbed his face. I made mistakes, okay? I got in over my head, but I'm fixing it. The family doesn't need to know. Fixing it, I repeated. You forged grandma's signature. You opened credit cards in my name. His expression hardened. You don't understand the pressure I'm under, he said. Everyone expects me to be perfect, to have everything together. I needed help and you were too busy feeling sorry for yourself to notice. I laughed, bitter and sharp. So it's my fault, he stood up. If you say anything at the reunion, I'll destroy you, he said quietly. I'll tell them you stole from grandma. That you're dangerous, they'll believe me, they always do. I pulled out my phone and stopped the recording. His face went white. You recorded that? He whispered. I nodded. Every word. He lunged for my phone but I stepped back. Get out, I said. He stared at me breathing hard. For a second I thought he might actually hit me. Then he turned and walked out, slamming the door so hard the frame shook. I sat down, hands trembling, and saved the recording. 5 days until the reunion. The reunion was held at my uncle's house, a big backyard gathering with white tents and folding tables. Grandma sat in the place of honor, smiling as people brought her plates of food. My parents worked the grill. Jordan stood near the center, surrounded by cousins and aunts, laughing and charming as always. I stayed on the edge, folder in my bag, waiting. After an hour, my uncle called for everyone's attention. "Jordan has an announcement," he said proudly. Jordan stood, clearing his throat. "Thank you all for being here," he began. "I wanted to share some exciting news. I'm starting a business, something I've been dreaming about for years." He painted a picture of success, opportunity, growth. People nodded, impressed. "But I need help," he continued, voice soft. "I need investment from people I trust, from family." He looked around, eyes landing on me for just a second. That's when I stood up. "Before you believe anything he says," I called out, "look at this." I pulled the folder from my bag and held it up. The yard went quiet. Jordan's smile froze. "What are you doing?" My mother hissed. I walked to the center and set the folder on the table. "These are loan documents," I said, "forged in Grandma's name, bills he never paid, credit cards he opened illegally." I spread them out. People leaned closer, murmuring. Jordan laughed nervously. "This is insane," he said. "He's making this up because he's jealous." "Fine," I said, "let's watch the video then." I pulled out my laptop and connected it to the portable speaker my uncle had been using for music. I played the parking garage video first. Jordan's voice filled the yard, clear and damning. "I forged the documents clean, nobody's going to find out." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Jordan's face went red. "That's edited," he shouted. "He faked it." Then the man from the coffee shop walked into the yard. Everyone turned. He held up his phone. "I have the original recording," he said, "along with messages where he bragged about scamming all of you." He handed his phone to my father. I watched my dad's face change as he scrolled, reading message after message. My mother covered her mouth. Grandma looked small and confused. Jordan tried to leave, but my uncle blocked the exit. "You're not going anywhere," he said. I played the final recording, the one from my apartment, Jordan's voice cold and clear. "If you say anything at the reunion, I'll destroy you. I'll tell them you stole from Grandma. They'll believe me. They always do." The yard was silent. My mother walked up to Jordan, stared at him, then slapped him across the face. He stumbled back, stunned. "Get out," she whispered. "Get out of my sight." Jordan looked around at all of us, his perfect mask finally shattered. No one spoke. No one defended him. He turned and ran, disappearing through the side gate. The man from the coffee shop handed my father a business card. "I'll be filing a report with the police," he said. "I suggest your family does the same." My father nodded numbly. I stood there as people slowly started talking again, the truth settling over everything like dust. My grandmother reached for my hand. "Thank you," she whispered. I squeezed her fingers gently. My mother approached, tears in her eyes. "I'm so sorry," she said. I nodded. I didn't have words yet. Maybe I would later. "I spent my whole life living in his shadow. Turns out that shadow only existed because he blocked the light. And that's how the perfect brother finally became what he always feared, exposed."